So at this point in time, I think a lot of people are realizing that Marvel Studios already had plans to use Doctor Doom in the MCU sooner rather than later. And what I mean by that is that Marvel Studios had plans to bring in Doctor Doom before the multiverse saga ended. So before Avengers Secret Wars. However, as most people know, he was not supposed to be the main villain. Obviously, Kang was intended to be the main villain of the overall multiverse saga. So Avengers 5, Kang Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars. He was supposed to be the villain of everything. Now, this has obviously changed now. They have announced that Avengers 5 is no longer Kang Dynasty, but it's now Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr. is returning to play Doctor Doom, and from here on out, he is the main villain of the multiverse saga. But Marvel Studios seemingly did have a plan to introduce Doctor Doom in the multiverse saga, but then have some pretty big plans for him after the multiverse saga. And I think this original plan that Marvel Studios had would have made a lot of fans pretty happy, especially those fans that aren't too excited about Robert Downey Jr. returning to play Doctor Doom, especially if he is actually playing Victor Von Doom. Right now, it's not confirmed, but it does seem like Robert Downey Jr. is indeed going to play a variant of Tony Stark, and this variant of Tony Stark will go on to become Doctor Doom. So we won't have a Victor Von Doom in the MCU, but it sounds like we will relatively soon. And this might make fans a little happy, kind of knowing what the original plan for Doom was, and that Marvel Studios is kind of going to hold on to their original plan for Doom after Secret Wars. Because best be assured that at the end of Secret Wars, when we assume the Avengers defeat Doom, that won't be the end of him. To have one of the greatest Marvel villains of all time only appear in a couple or a few movies and then be done with him in the MCU, that would be probably the biggest mistake Marvel Studios could make. And I believe they know that, which is why I believe they cast Robert Downey Jr. for that role, because they do plan on, later on, introducing the true Victor Von Doom. But originally, before Kang was pushed to the side, they were going to introduce Victor Von Doom in the multiverse saga. They were not only going to have him appear in a few projects, but then they were going to possibly have spin-off projects with Doctor Doom after the multiverse saga. So it sounds like before everything happened with Kang and before he got pushed to the side, Marvel Studios originally even then had plans for Doctor Doom in the MCU. And we recently heard a little bit about this from Alex Perez over at the Cosmic Circus, who stated in the Cosmic Circus Discord, "I can confirm that they had plans for Doom post Secret Wars before he was confirmed to be appearing in Doomsday and Secret Wars, and it's very likely those storylines they had planned will continue to be used. One of those included even the possibility of a spin-off project in the very far distant future. But it's because Doom is currently on a similar playing field to Loki in the sense that he is beloved by fans." And then Alex goes on to say this, which is what I've been thinking the entire time as well. He says, "The main issue here is that I don't think that Robert Downey Jr. will be the Doom we see in 616 moving forward, and he'll be recast with a new variant," which is what I believe as well. I did a whole video about this when it was announced. You can watch that, but basically I believe Robert Downey Jr. is only here till Avengers Secret Wars is done. That Doom gets killed, but moving forward in whatever new rebooted universe or multiverse we have, there will be an actual Victor Von Doom. And from there, I think we're going to get a lot of qualities and characteristics with Victor Von Doom that we're not going to get with Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, whether that's Tony or Victor. For example, Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, I'm not sure if he's going to know sorcery, especially if he is a Tony Stark variant. Then that probably means that most of his abilities and powers come from a suit and technology. I think we're going to see the sorcery and his Latverian backstory all come with this new Doom that we get after Secret Wars. And Alex Perez isn't the only one to report this. There have been several big outlets like The Hollywood Reporter who started talking about Doom replacing Kang once everything started happening with Jonathan Majors getting arrested and him going to court and all of that. We had the really popular book at the time, MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios, come out, where they talked about Doctor Doom in there as well. And of course, it's widely believed at this point in time that Doctor Doom was supposed to be introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, but they kind of changed their minds last minute on that. That is not confirmed, but there was some leaked concept art out there that most people believe to be true, and it was pretty convincing, but it didn't happen, so it's irrelevant. But the point being, Marvel Studios did seem to have plans for Doctor Doom at many points in time in the multiverse saga. And many insiders said that we were going to get a quick little introduction to him or a quick little cameo of him in the Fantastic Four. But at some point in time, Marvel Studios completely decided to just simply reevaluate everything with the multiverse saga and completely change their plans. And we had heard many reports simply stating that Marvel Studios were simply going to recast Kang, and that would kind of be the end of it all. We would continue on the same path with Kang as the main villain, but Marvel Studios changed that. So what is their new plan? Well, I think a lot of people are going to like their new plan. Based off of what Alex Perez said about Marvel Studios' original plan to have Doom having a lot of solo time after Avengers Secret Wars, and having Doom be kind of like Loki in the next saga of the MCU, we can pretty much figure out how Doom is going to be a very relevant figure in the MCU for the next 10 plus years, which is amazing. However, this does not begin until after Avengers Secret Wars, so everything up until and during Secret Wars, that's going to be Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom. But Marvel, knowing how big Doctor Doom is, knows that they just can't kill off Doctor Doom right then and there. But when we get this reported soft reboot of the universe, we should get an actual 616 or whatever the main sacred timeline at that point in time is called, Doctor Doom, a main one for that specific timeline. And honestly, if you think about what that story could be for that Victor Von Doom, it could be really, really amazing. One, not only will it actually be Victor Von Doom, right? We'll get his backstory, the scar, his sorcery, his mother. I mentioned that a lot because I do love the story where Mephisto takes his mother to hell and he teams up with Doctor Strange to go and try to get her. I love her, and there is just so much with Doctor Doom. And we can get this all with a new actor playing Doom. A lot of people really wanted Cillian Murphy. That is still a possibility with this plan. I do believe Marvel Studios will pull this off. So from here, since Alex Perez reported that they wanted to treat Doctor Doom like Loki, we can assume that Doom is going to show up in many different parts of the MCU. Obviously, the Fantastic Four is a given, and we know that the Fantastic Four takes place in an alternate universe, but the latest rumors about the movie state that they actually do come from the 616 universe, they just get trapped inside of another universe. So what if, when they were still in the 616 universe, Reed Richards still did go to college with a Victor Von Doom? This would add kind of a whole other element to not only Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, but everything past that in the next saga as well. So if Doom is going to be a Tony Stark variant, perhaps Reed Richards might go, oh, well, I knew a Doom, but it wasn't Tony Stark, it was Victor Von Doom. Then moving forward, since we just got a Doctor Doom, people might keep an eye out on Victor Von Doom, and they can go, no, it wasn't him, but in some universes, it is Victor Von Doom. Like, that's one of the cool things about the multiverse, is that when you have a bunch of people from a bunch of different universes come together, and they're trying to talk about the main villain, Doom, there are some people who could say, is this Victor Von Doom? That's who Doctor Doom is. And they can say, no, it's actually Tony Stark. Then some go, well, Victor Von Doom is Doom in my universe. And some go, and Tony Stark was Iron Man, a hero in my universe. That really is one of the coolest things about the multiverse. In an infinite amount of universes out there, people can kind of be anything. Hero, villain, anti-hero. And that's the thing about Doom, is he's not always bad. There's many times where he's really good, and he's a very deep character. And that's why I love this idea of Marvel Studios actually using a different variant, actually Victor Von Doom, post Secret Wars, showing up at multiple times throughout the entire MCU, just like Loki did. So the next Fantastic Four movie, Doom kind of reunites with Reed Richards after everything happened, and they could say they went to college together, just like in the Origins. Then they could pretty much pick it up from there. Then I'm assuming we'll see him in some Avengers projects, X-Men projects. If we do get the soft reboot and characters like Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, they return, the characters, not the actors who played them, they're going to get new actors when the soft reboot happens. He could show up and have stories with all of them. He could have stories with Tony Stark, which would be even crazier because Tony Stark would have just been Doom. So really, Marvel is sitting in a really great spot right now. Yes, bringing back Robert Downey Jr. could be viewed as an act of desperation, but I also believe it's going to work. In fact, it has worked. Everybody's talking about it. Whether you like it or you don't like it, everybody's thinking, well, what's going to happen? And I do like the idea. I do like that they brought Robert Downey Jr. back. So basically, before Secret Wars, everything leading up to Secret Wars is going to be Robert Downey Jr. It's going to be a different variant of Doom that we're really used to seeing both in movies and in comics, especially if it is a Tony Stark variant. But post Secret Wars, in a brand new saga where Marvel Studios finally has everything. All the rights to all the characters. They can do whatever they want, use any characters that they want. During this insanely awesome, magical new saga, Doctor Doom will be built up the proper way. So I don't want to say everything leading up to Secret Wars won't be the proper way, but I'll say everything after Secret Wars is going to stay a little bit more true to the actual Doctor Doom from the comics. At least that is what it seems like Marvel Studios' plans are. That was their plans before, to have Doctor Doom get his own solo series, to introduce him in some other projects, have him be like Loki, pop up in a lot of different places. And since it's Robert Downey Jr. now playing Doom, they still have this opportunity, and I believe we'll still take this opportunity to do a more true to the origin Doctor Doom. And that's based off of a lot of things that we've been hearing, but go ahead, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. If this is indeed their plan, do you like this? And does it make you feel better a little bit about Robert Downey Jr. returning to play Doom? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.